All right, all right, all right. What's up, Honolulu Blues listeners? This episode is sponsored by the app Autograph. Use the code GOLIONS, one word, when you sign up. The only app that scours all social media platforms to bring you all of your favorite team's content, keeping you as up to date with the Lions news as Dan Campbell himself. Autograph also has fee-free tickets. Yeah, you heard me. Stop buying $100 tickets with $300 worth of fees added on top. It's time we start to normalize not paying for fees on our tickets. Go to the app Autograph to get your fee-free ticket. Autograph's co-founder, Tom Brady, is also giving away a signed TB12 football. To get entries to win it, just go to Autograph and play in their Survivor Pool Weekly Challenge. Earn an entry for every week you correctly guess an NFL team that will win. If you lose one week, no biggie. Just come back next week and try again. Earn up to 18 entries, and maybe you will have a Tom Brady signed football at your house. Just download the app Autograph and use the code GO. Tigers, eat 'em up. Eat 'em up, Tigers, eat 'em up. Hey, hey, yeah, we the Honolulu Blues, and we back to talk Lions and Cardinals, but we ain't going nowhere without talking about the hottest team in freaking all of America right now. This team is on fire. They have the best record, I think, since the break, at least since August 11th. I don't know. We just winning. It's crazy. A bunch of young kids having fun. I got my new Deadpool Tigers jersey on. Shout out Grandma Joe helping me out. We got a Tigers hat on by my man Adam below and Julius repping a jersey. Anyone on the back of that jersey, or is it just a no name?
Oh, it's most definitely Riley Green himself.
Ooh, that's pretty. He just hit it out the park, dude. Riley Green's been on fire. Guys, can you believe what the Tigers are doing?
No. It's insane. It's to put things in perspective, the last time a team that was 8 games or more out heading into the month of August and made the playoffs was the 1973 Mets. What did those Mets go on to do? Not win the World Series, but they did make the World Series and force a Game 7. So if you could pencil the Tigers in for that, I would take that immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Julius. I can't believe what the Tigers are doing. After the trade deadline, when they kind of sold away with Jack Flattery and the rest of those old guys, I just thought that, 10 games back, it was over with. And being over here, I'm getting ready for the Lions. I mean, other Lions fans watch this show. We start to automatically zoom in 100% on the Lions. We kind of forget about the Tigers. And then, boom, you start seeing headlines. And so it's really unbelievable. I'm back on the bandwagon, I'm proud to say, because I'm a lifelong Tigers fan, so I always jump back on. And I'm rooting for them 100%. I hope they go all the way and shock the world and make my year.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, dude. And literally what it is just a bunch of young kids who don't know any better. They don't know any better. They don't know they should.
Learning how to win.
At an early age. And that's what's good about getting rid of Jack Flaherty and Mark Canha, who was our catcher that we got rid of for Dylan Dingler to come up and play more. Like, just get these young kids. This is what I say it all the time. Baseball's so weird. They're like, dude, I don't want to hurt their confidence. And I'm like, dude, put them up here and let the boys play, dude. Like, I'm not going to sit here and wait 4 or 5 years to see Max Clark come here. Just let the kid come. Let's play. Let's let these boys play. And we are proving it right now. It's unbelievable what we're doing. Very, very similar to the Detroit Red Wings. Not so much like where the Red Wings had a big epic collapse and the Tigers are coming up, but ultimately they're giving us meaningful, anticipated games at the end of their season. And it's something we hadn't got for the Tigers, for the Red Wings in a decade plus. So it's just so exciting, which leads me in. Guys, is October in the D 10 times better than April in the D?
I think so.
Right? They go on a run. It definitely is. If they make the playoff, if the Tigers make the playoffs, it goes beyond all our expectations, bro. We'll be just totally happy. If they win a series, the city will go crazy.
Oh, could you imagine, dude?
And our farm system is number one in the major leagues right now. We got some hymns, some dogs down in the farm. It's going to be coming up and joining up, and we add a couple free agents all season. It's going to get exciting in Comerica.
You don't know, dude. Comerica going to be it. Adam, what's more exciting? April in the D with the Tigers starting, the Wings finishing, the Pistons finishing, or October in the D with the Pistons and Wings starting, but the Lions in full force and the Tigers possibly in the playoffs? What's more exciting?
Gotta go October, man, especially given, the hindsight we have right now where the Tigers are they're popping, man. Like 2 months ago, we were, flipping through Tigers games, 4-1 game, Tigers losing. Let's see what's on the news or something other like that. Now it's like Tigers are down 3-1 and I'm putting on my rally cap, getting ready to go and, excited to watch even though they're losing or something. And I want to say each 3 of those Royal games, we either trailed or had a tie. We blew a 1-run lead that we had real quick. It was tied for a minute. So their resilience is just amazing. Hats off to our pitching coach, Chris Fetter. He is like the OG that's been making this all happen. I love how we just got one ace in Scooball, the best pitcher in the MLB. And then you just surround him with just like 10 solid pitchers that just boom, 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 boom. One of them could just pop off at any given moment. It usually has been happening the last, few games. So stoked to see the boys play tonight. And it's looking like we're going to see Montero, I think, is
against Baltimore. So we got a series against Baltimore. We got a series against the Rays. And we got a series against the White Sox. The Baltimore one is the biggest one,
The Orioles. Big if, because we already took the series a week or so ago. So if we sweep the Orioles, I'll want to say the Tigers will most likely be in that second wild card spot and will be like 1 game or 2 games back from the Orioles. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It'll be close. We're 3 games behind Kansas, 2 games technically behind Kansas City, but they have the tiebreaker on us as well. So we're technically 3 games. So we would need the Royals to get swept and sweep the Orioles to take the second wild card spot. But even if we take 2 and the Royals lose 2, like that's another game up with 6 games to go. We're only 2 games behind now. There's a chance we get that second wild card spot, and that would be fun because then we play the the Guardians, whatever the frick they want to be called nowadays. But if we don't, then we get the Yankees, which can be scary, but the Tigers kind of have the Yankees number when it comes to postseason. So I don't know.
Listen, if they get in, I don't care who they play.
Yeah, we're coming in with that. We ain't got nothing to lose. You guys do mentality.
Detroit versus everybody, grit. That's all we need to do is get in.
If we can be crazy and take the top wild card spot, we play Houston in the first round and be an AJ Hinch
revenge
back to Houston. I can't talk right now. But that would be crazy. Anyways, we could spend literally an all show talking about these beautiful, beautiful boys, but we are going to switch it and let's talk about the Lions and let's talk a lot of little news. Breaking news. We got some news to go over. Let's start with maybe the worst call, worst vote, worst decision maybe of all time. I was going to relate it to a presidential thing, but me and Julius and Adam do not need to get into that kind of conversation today. That's for a different show. But I would say it was maybe the worst decision of all time. Aiden Hutchinson has 4.5 sacks last week, a forced fumble, looked like maybe the best defensive player to ever set foot on an NFL field. And that's what happens when DJ Reader plays next to him, which is crazy, and we'll get into it. But Hutchinson didn't do good enough to win the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Apparently, Jesse Bates, who had 2 pass deflections, I think, beat him. So I don't know how that went. I just am curious, Julius. When you first saw that news, what was your thought about Hutchinson getting snubbed?
It's because we're the Lions, and the NFL's still out to get us, and they hate him, and they will make the excuses because the Lions lost. I don't care. He had the most sacks in a game since the Lions existed, pretty much. Franchise history. He damn near willed us to a win on his own. We didn't lose by that much, NFL. Detroit versus everybody. Everybody know Hutch. He should be the odds-on leader right now for Defensive Player of the Year, which was my preseason prediction, if I'm not mistaken. I said actually I had a hot take. He was going to break the sack record. He keep this up. He going to prove me a genius.
He going to do it by week 10, dude. You know what I mean? Golly.
Oh man, Hutch getting snubbed was just like what? What are we doing here? And then I was like. So when I saw Jesse Bates one, and I'm like, oh, surely, I knew Bates had that final interception. I was like, oh, he must have had a couple other interceptions I missed. Maybe he had a pick six, a forced ball. No, Nick, you were right. 2 pass deflections. One, simple, meaningless. I mean, not meaningless, but it ended the game interception where it was just, Hurts throws the ball. He's trying to get it out of bounds and pressure, and Bates is just right there. So, oh, man. It's like they're still out to get us. Julius was right, man. These big NFL is still after the Lions. They just have a stigma where I think they're pivoting into, the Lions could be, the newest team to win or make a Super Bowl and become the NFL darling. Who not better than the Lions? The Texans, another Texas team. And that's what I think is going on. Everyone, I mean, honestly, credit due to CJ Stroud and that whole team. They're playing phenomenal. But I do believe that the not momentum, but rally behind the Lions last year where you just had all sorts of bandwagon fans has really taken a hit to Texans fans. And you see a lot of people that are, picking up on CJ Stroud. He had talking to Caleb Williams, talking to Jalen Johnson, just seeming like, super cool quarterback, which honestly, he's going to go down as my favorite Ohio State player of all time. I hate that. I think he's an awesome quarterback, but he's an NFLer now. And hopefully Hutch can, let the Texans know that he didn't just get snubbed. The Lions are still NFL's darling of the season. And then lastly, the refs, man, the hit is still on the Lions. We saw that on Jared Goff's first snap. I was watching it at a bowling alley, so it was kind of hard without any audio too, which was mind-blowing how they didn't have the Lions audio. They only had it in the bar, so that was a mistake. But anyways, the J-Mo Holt, that was just classic refereeing. We can't let the Lions get away this easily. We still got to have a little fun with them.
Definitely, and it was egregious that it came right after the Terrion Arnold pass interference where he blinked and they were like, "Wow, Arnold, you can't do that, dude." They be getting Arnold a lot though. Even motherfucker has to keep his hands off of people.
The refs gave the Bucs those first 6 points.
Yeah, I would agree. But 6 points isn't a lot. We should have won. I don't really want to talk about Tampa Bay. Let's move on to Arizona, as in some injuries. We saw Alex Anzalone take a big hit from Derek Barnes in the head in that Tampa Bay game. Concussion, missed the first couple days of practice. He was limited at practice today. It looks like he's questionable to play. That is great news. Terrion Arnold, also questionable to play. Looks like he's trending to play, though. Same with Graham Glasgow. And Isaiah Williams is questionable, maybe seeing his first opportunity of the 2024 regular season. However, we did have two guys that already are listed as out, and that is, yet again, I believe for the third week in a row for both of these guys. If he
for Rakestraw.
Is it second week?
Yeah, he had that. Remember, he had the punt, where he dove into the punt and screwed up Jack Fox's amazing punt, where it was put it on the one, backspin, and Rakestraw just came barreling down and just smacked it through the end zone.
I forgot that was Rakestraw. I liked it better when I thought that was Brandon Joseph or something.
Yeah, I know.
Freaking Rakestraw. But yes, Rakestraw is missing his second week. They are both been ruled out. So again, our cornerbacks, our defensive back takes a hit, but this is why we added a ton of depth. Out of these 6 guys, 4 that are questionable, 2 that are out, is there any one in particular Adam, that you are happy to hear they're questionable and or able to play, or even more sad that they're not playing above overall?
Iffy, I'd love to see him out there. Rakestraw, rookie, I'd like to see him out there. But out of the questionable guys, I think Anzalone. If Anzalone doesn't play, you will absolutely notice. There will just be multiple plays where guys will get a couple extra yards. The defense might just not look in sync because, Dan Campbell, he's been preaching at that. Anzalone, he's our quarterback of the defense. He's the dude with the walkie-talkie. He's controlling everything. And then I would probably say Terrion and Glasgow are probably on par with if either of those guys miss, it would probably be the same, result, defense, offense. Obviously, if we could get Terrion, Glasgow, and Anzalone back, that would be huge. Isaiah Williams, I'm not even sure if he's had a target or so yet, but nonetheless, I think we're going to see Iffy in like week 6 or 7 do that thing again, where everyone just is high on Kirby, high on Brandt. Terrion's looking good. Rakestraw's back playing. And then Iffy just comes out of nowhere, and we're like, holy crap, I forgot this dude's a stud. Getting, a sack on a safety blitz, couple interceptions, and just looking like a menace. So don't miss him too much right now, but he would definitely be a game impactor if he did play.
Julia, same question. Any of these injuries that you're feeling anything about?
So Wakestraw and Iffy were ruled out earlier a little bit, so not even thinking about that. It looked like Rakestraw hurt himself in pregame on the Bucks warm-up game in the warm-ups. Sucks. Looks like everybody else is pretty good. I guess the one I'm worried about the most is Anzalone because he got that concussion. You never know if he's gonna be able to pass protocol by Sunday. And if he doesn't play, and we're looking at Jack Campbell breakout game or what? I got questions about Jack Campbell. I really do because we drafted him in the first round. He was the best college player in America. Yeah, haven't saw much. Saw a little bit, but want to see more. So maybe this could be Campbell's opportunity to play with Barnes right there in the middle. But Anzalone is the captain of the defense, so you always want him there. Little quick note about the Cardinals. Their right tackle, Kelvin Beachum, got hurt in practice yesterday. He hasn't practiced since, and he's looking like he might miss the game. Look out for Aiden Hutchinson, another 5 sacks, my man.
Oh, boy, except Kyler Murray be slippery as a mug. And we'll get to that. I'm not going to get into that just quite yet. I have a question about Alex Anzalone because it seems like to everyone, along with me, that's the biggest concern. That's who we want to play, but you need to be safe. Guys, did you watch the Thursday night football game yesterday? And if you did, we saw Jabril Peppers out there. And we know him from Michigan. But do you know what he's doing right now? Does anyone know what I'm about to talk about?
Playing for the Patriots?
Correct. He's also wearing a Guardian.
Yes. Yep.
Seems like he's the only player in the league. I want every single Detroit Lion not named Jameson Williams to wear that Guardian cap. Jameson, the only reason why is I don't know if it'll hinder his speed at all. But if it doesn't, then get him a cap. No concussions. No concussions. In fact, if we can put bubble wrap around our guys, like nice aerodynamic bubble wrap where you can still run fast, but you have like a lot of everyone on the Lions should be wearing a Guardian cap. Everyone in the NFL should be wearing it. Alex Anzalone, out of everyone, in my opinion, who just got a concussion because he went head-to-head with Derek Barnes, should put on a Guardian cap moving forward. Am I crazy to think that? Or no? Do you agree or disagree that everyone on the Lions team, Jack Fox included, every single person, fuck it, even Dan Campbell wears a Guardian cap just in case? Like,
that would be hilarious.
Do you guys agree or disagree for the players?
No, I agree. I mean, like, to an extent. If I get players that are like no concussion history, not wanting to wear it, okay, that's fine. But if you've had any concussion history or even had a concussion last game, like Dan Campbell should absolutely be like, Anzalone, hey, man, you might look a little weird, but you know what's not going to look a little weird? When you have 12 tackles and 2 pass breakups, So we need you out there, and if this does help, so be it. But yes, Nick, I love what you said about JMO not wanting him to wear the Guardian cap, not because of his speed, but because I truly think he would play worse because he would look weird. Like he'd be like, my swag isn't there. I'm not. Yeah. This isn't me.
Yeah, he doesn't need to wear it. He's all right. Just wrap his knees and ankles up. Julius, how would you feel if everyone on the Tigers wore or on the?
Well, I'm not really that informed on the Guardian cap and what it does and doesn't hinder with the players. So I'm not ready to give them all one. But if it is just totally safe and it doesn't have any effect on their gameplay, I agree with you. Safety is important. You don't have to worry about concussions as much. More players are on your best players are on the field more. I'm totally with it.
Even if it improves the odds a minuscule amount, in my opinion, like we talked about last week, just improve your odds however you can. And if your odds if it states that your odds are better because you wear guardian caps to have guys on the field, I'm all about it, dude. I just don't want to see.
I want to try one. I want to try one out on myself, and I want to get tackled and see how it feels.
Oh, dude, when you come home in December, maybe I'll have one already ordered, and we'll put on a helmet, we'll put a guardian cap on, and we'll run a few routes.
We'll do a proper review show for it.
Yeah, dude, that would be great. Yeah, here we go. This is a great quote. Tua has to wear a guardian cap. Like, golly, dude, like that guy might be dead. Like, get a guardian cap on. If you're gonna run head first, same thing with Hendon Hooker. Put a cap on if you're going to be running head first as a quarterback. I don't know.
They can customize it too. Put a little logo on the side, make it cold.
Yeah. No, it looks
fine. It doesn't look that bad, honestly. No. Like, if you're not staring at it, you kind of don't really notice.
No. And if they do good things in it, nobody cares.
Exactly, dude. Like, just put it on, dude. Just put one on. We'll keep moving on. Let's talk about the NFC North. Minnesota Vikings are leading the way at 2-0 with one of the best defenses in the NFL currently, though they played a beat-up San Francisco team, and then I don't remember who they played in week 1. I don't know. But anyways, are we scared of Minnesota? Are we nervous? Is that the team to be in the NFC North as opposed to the Packers and the Bears? Obviously, we're the team to beat, but
no, not one bit. Sam Darnold, we saw this Carolina's in the Carolina. Jeez, I can't talk. We saw this in Carolina with Sam Darnold. He started off a season 5-0, was looking like a fantasy standout MVP, looked phenomenal. I want to say that was CMC's last year there, maybe not, but he did have DJ Moore and, a better team. And then next thing you know, they're 5-7. Darnold gets benched and things just, go awry. But also, too, I would like to wish my mother and number one supporter a happy belated birthday. Her birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday from Honolulu to you.
But, yeah, Vikings, I would say the Vikings scare me a little more than the Bears. The Bears and their offensive line and Caleb just not looking like this superstar. I think it's going to take a year at least, maybe 2 years. Maybe Caleb is even the real deal. And their offensive line is atrocious. So I feel like the Vikings are the most complete team. Jordan Love really didn't show me much that week 1. So there is a case that the Vikings are kind of like that sneaky dark horse team. But the good thing is Dan Campbell kind of has Minnesota's number.
Julius, we're running to you to the NFC North. How you feeling?
I'm not really scared of Minnesota. My last memories of Minnesota last season was frauds. They were frauds. They tried to hang in the playoff picture. They won a bunch of close games before Kirk Cousins got hurt. The year before that, they did the same thing, got burnt in the playoffs first game. So I kind of still got that feeling about the Vikings. The Packers, maybe I'm a little more worried about if Jordan Love is reportedly about to return this week, just because we saw them be pretty competitive with the Eagles, and they beat the Colts with Malik Willis, so their defenses can carry them, their run game can carry them. So probably Packers, Vikings, Bears. Bears are a burning trash can. And I told everybody on Twitter, on X, on Facebook, in real life, face-to-face, that the Bears were trash on this show multiple times. But nobody ever, they don't believe me. They just don't believe me until it happens. The Bears are trash.
The Bears are trash. Breaking news. Yeah, so it's a spicy take, but I think the Vikings have the best coach out of the 3 NFC North, like our opponents. I think Kevin O'Connell is a better coach than Matt LaFleur. I think Green Bay has a better team than Minnesota, but I'm I think Minnesota's good. I think Brian Flores is one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. I think Kevin O'Connell is one of the best offensive minds in the NFL. Ultimately, they aren't going to win the division because we are, but I am more nervous. I feel like I'm kind of more nervous to play Minnesota than I am Green Bay this year because I think we're going to want Green Bay more. And Minnesota, we better want to win that game. But I just think Green Bay, we're going to want it a little bit more with Minnesota. Crazy. What?
Little trap game for the Vikings. Yeah. Kind of like how the Bears game, we traveled to Chicago where it was like Justin Fields, no problem. Next thing you know, it's like, what's happening? We're about to lose the Bears. And yeah, I kind of think, not saying the Lions came in unprepared, but it's like, obviously when you play, when you're have the Packers on the schedule, Lambeau, contending team holds more weight. Now, if the Vikings are like, I don't know when we play them. I want to say we play them at the last game of the season in like week maybe like 8-ish, 9-ish. Now, if they're like 6-2, 7-1, 10-4, a good record, I will honestly kind of feel a little more confident in a weird way because I feel like the Lions will be more prepared.
We see them week 7. Yeah, week 7.
Week 7. Okay, so yeah,
we got Cardinals, then Seahawks, then bye.
If they're 5-2 going to week 7, then that'll be a decent matchup, and I think we'll prepare the Lions more. Like, hey, the Vikings are for real. Those first couple games weren't flukes. Like we better get our shit together.
And we know from the Vikings games last year, freaking Nick Mullins dropped like 300 on us. Like, I'm not saying Sam Darnold's as good as Nick Mullins. I'm not saying he's worse than Nick Mullins because I honestly don't know. They're both that mediocre quarterback, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's move on though. We'll talk Hall of Fame, baby. Put me into Hall of Fame. 167 names got dropped for a list for the 2025 Hall of Fame. Of those 167 people, there will be about 3 to 5 of the modern players that get selected to go into the Hall of Fame. I don't think any Lions are going to make it in, but some Lions made the list, so I'm curious. I'm going to lead off with you, Adam. Out of these people, who would you choose if you could pick one guy to get in the Hall of Fame? Not who you think should make it or anything of that nature, but of these guys listed, who would you choose? And I'm going to go to Julius, but Julius, you can't pick his answer. So if he steals it, you better be ready for number 2. And I'm going to list these names off. Are we ready? We have Herman Moore, Jason Hansen, Lomas Brown, Dre Bly, TJ Lang, Anquan Bolden, Jeff Garcia. I don't know how he made it on there. Haloti Nada, and then good old David Akers in his 1 year with us.
That's crazy.
Adam.
Because at first, my first thought was like, oh, I think Jason Hansen's going to be on this list. Then I was like, wait, no, he's already in the Hall of Fame. There's no way. But Jason Hansen absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame. He leads the NFL in points. He kicked for the Detroit Lions longer than any player has played for one sole team. Beat out Tom Brady's record with the Patriots. He was Mr. Reliable through so many bad teams, so many, good teams. Well, a few good teams. And it was just the kind of safety blanket, so to speak, for the Lions, where I was like, well, at least we got good old Jason Hansen. That's good. So Jason Hansen, I don't know how unless this is like his first or second year trying to get it, but I don't think so. So Jason Hansen, I definitely think should be in the Hall of Fame. If you lead the NFL in points, I don't care how long you've played in the NFL, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
I like that. Julius?
So I'm going to go with instead, shout out to Dre Bly, honorable mention. He was my first favorite Lion on defense. He was pretty shut down for like 6 solid seasons, all pro a few times. But I'm going to go with Lomas Brown, just because he blocked for Barry Sanders, who's already in the Hall of Fame. And he was pretty dominant for a decade. He made the all-decade team in the NFL. He's one of the best tackles to ever play the game, I would say, like top 15 definitely, which is arguably good enough to make the Hall of Fame. So I'm going to go with my big guy, Big Lomas, from the Detroit Lions Network. Shout out to you guys, Dan Miller. It's great to hear them on the radio too. So Lomas Brown.
Lomas Brown also just icon in Detroit, dude. Anywhere he goes, people love him. Like, he's great. I'll take low-hanging fruit of Herman Moore, number 70 all-time in the NFL receiving yards, was just the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme when he was with us, along with Barry Sanders. It stinks that they both didn't see more success in the playoffs, but Herman Moore was just a beast. And when you added Johnny Morton to that team, if only we had someone other than Andre Ware and Eric Kramer throwing him the ball, he could have been even better. Honestly, like, we would have had a dude like Troy Aikman throwing the ball, or any kind of a quarterback, not Scott Mitchell and Charlie Batch, like, just terrible quarterback. So I hope Herman Moore gets in. I truly do. The one guy I wanted to bring up, but I made us keep it on the list, off the list, Robert Porcher should absolutely be on this. Yeah. Recognized out of the 167 people that might have a chance. Like, he should be on this list. I'm surprised he isn't. But let's move on from our news and notes to the upcoming Arizona Cardinals game. How the fuck do you stop Kyler Murray? Baker Mayfield looked like Lamar Jackson against us in a couple of those drives. Brock Purdy last year ran all over us in the second half of the game. We have a very tough time playing mobile quarterbacks. And Aaron Glenn came out today and said he still does not believe in the QB spy. I don't know if we're going to be spying Kyler Murray. Guys, how do you stop him? How do we do this? How do the Lions stop Kyler Murray? I'm going to start with Adam.
If you get a hand on him, you got to bring him down. I think that's what we need to see the most. We saw it a couple times with Baker, a couple times with Stafford, a couple times with Purdy, where someone would get, hand on him something, he would just spin away and break out of that. I want to see Hutch just like arm coming through, just grabbing Kyler and just like the get over here, pulling him back into the two offensive linemen, and then they all just go down. So if we can just, contain to a little bit, I'm trying to pull up Kyler's rushing stats. But I don't think he's been crazy rushing this year. Hold on.
It's not so much rushing yards, but it's just slippery behind the offensive line.
Which is
where, I don't know how many times he's been sacked this year, but it did not look like the Rams could do anything against.
He's had 10 carries, 116 yards in 2 games, so that's a decent amount for.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And then Kyler, it sucked to see him get Marvin Harrison going. Had that big breakout game, the 2 touchdown, threw the bomb to him. And then I'm sure you guys saw the highlight where he's in the pocket, spins around, goes back, cuts up, cuts the left, right, and then boom, throws a perfect strike the end zone. You just think, wow, this dude, he still has it. This looks like vintage Kyler Murray. This is not ACL rehabilitated Kyler Murray. This isn't Call of Duty Kyler Murray. He is, he's ready to play. So it's going to be tough. I do think that he will have big plays. I can almost guarantee you there will be a 3rd and 8. The pressure will collapse. He'll just squeak out and get a first down. And I do think he's going to make plays, but it's like if we can just limit those to 3 points or nothing on that drive, then that's all we got to do, because he's not going to be, an escape artist every single drive. He will do it a couple times, and if we can manage on those drives, to hold him at, the 50, to, make him take a long field goal, and actually shouldn't even say long field goal because we were playing against Matt Prater too. So hopefully he doesn't do anything crazy against us, but it's gonna be a challenge against Kyler Murray, and I think he also knows that too. I can't imagine someone didn't show him like, hey man, if Baker can juke Rodrigo out of his shoes, you can damn juke the entire team out of their shoes. So
true.
It'll be tough, but I trust Glenn. He's been doing pretty good these first 2 games, holding teams to 18 points per game in regular time. So if we can hold the Cardinals to 18 points or less, I'm pretty confident the Lions could win despite the offensive struggles.
I agree. I did see somewhere that there's a new Call of Duty game or something like that coming out
in October,
week 8. So if you have Kyler on your fantasy team, make sure you get a good trade for him right now while he's hot before everything goes down. I'm going to also answer, and then Julius, I'm not going to let you answer because I'm going to ask you a different question. But to answer the Kyler Murray, in my opinion, the best way to contain him is with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Don't let him have the ball.
That's good.
Don't let him have the ball. Win time of possession by a handed amount, I can't even talk. Friday, dude. These Friday vibes, they got all my words all jumbled up. They don't know what's coming out. Just keep the ball as much as you can. Don't let Arizona have it. Julius, feel free to add on anything we haven't talked about on how to stop Kyler Murray. But I'm curious also, how do you stop Marv? We just saw Marv Jr. break out last week. Huge first quarter. Big Randy Moss-esque type game. This was his welcome to the NFL. That was his welcome to the NFL game. How do you stop him? How do you stop Kyler?
It's all about Terrion Arnold. I mean, he has to have this game circled. You know, this number one corner versus number one wide receiver in the draft. That's the matchup. Hopefully, he's healthy enough to do it. But if he's not, either way, that's the way we're going to shut him down. Terrion Arnold, I just hope he's ready for it.
Yeah.
However, going back to Kyler Murray real quick, time of possession, that's great. We also dominated time of possession against the Bucs and still damn lost.
Yeah.
So we just gotta not turn the ball over, Jared Goff, and not throw the ball 55 times. You're definitely right about Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. You know, we just gotta. Ben Johnson got this, I believe. But Kyler Murray, we've seen him have bad game. This is a game that he can have a bad game because I mentioned Kelvin Beacham's out on the right side. Aiden Hutchinson, you talked about him, Adam. The pressure gets to Lil Kyler. I call him Lil Kyler. He about that yay tall.
Look, it's Kyler Murray right here.
Hey, he got him right there on his shelf. Look at that. Hey, so the pressure can get to him. You can bat balls down, sack him a bunch of times. You get out the pocket at his own will. I feel like the Lions can come prepared defensively for Kyler Murray. Even if he goes off for like 80 rushing yards, I don't know. He can still be contained.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, Marv's going to be tough. I want two safeties. I know Mel Kiper hates it, but I want Kirby over top of them damn near every single time. Let Branch go hang out with Carlton Davis, and they'll keep Michael Wilson and whoever the hell they have receiving over there.
Greg Dortch.
Greg Dortch. So, like, more like, never mind. More like Greg Dork.
Pretty Bride, the tight end. They have a pretty good tight end, too.
Yeah, Jamie Bride, yeah.
Sucks. No, he's actually really good. I got to run real quick. I'll be right back. But while I'm gone, Adam and Julius, Adam, start us off. Is this a get-right game for Jared Goff?
I think so. I don't think he will be passing 50-plus times again. This is weird because Dan Campbell talked about this, before the Bucs game. He said he wants to get Montgomery going fast, and it was like we completely went away from that. So hopefully he kind of, not, learned his lesson, but was like, all right, well, Goff passing 55 times didn't work. So let's try something else. And honestly, I mean, Goff, we probably could have won that. We honestly should have won that game, even with him throwing 55 times. I don't think that was necessarily the problem. I think Goff's going to go back to being his game manager self, where he's just 225 yards, maybe 1-2 touchdown passes, no interceptions, and goes, 22 for, 31 or something like that. So Goff, I do think he has a bounce back game, but nothing like, where he comes out throwing 303 touchdowns. I think it's more of like wow, Goff played really well and didn't make a single error, and we dominated this game.
You're exactly right about that, Adam. That's exactly what I was going to say. They need a classic Ben Johnson scheme, Jared Goff game manage, Lions grit, brand new Lions game. That's what Jared Goff needs. A lot of what we saw last year for I want to say 13 or 14 of the games in the regular season, and most of the games in the playoffs, I would say. He was pretty good at executing what Ben Johnson wanted to do. That's all we asked for. Do we got to protect him better? There was some talk, it was some pressure from the Bucs. The defense was getting to him. Yeah, we do. We know who Jared Goff is by now, right? Like, we know if he gets pressure in his face, he's liable to give the ball straight to the net, to the other team. At any given moment that he got pressure in his face, he might be running on the run, running away for his life, throws the ball on the run, inaccurate interception. It's just we need to keep him protected and let him manage the game. That's exactly what Jared Goff needs.
Yeah. It's weird because the Lions seem to me to be a team that do not make major halftime adjustments. We might make minor tweaks, but I think ultimately we practice for a certain scheme and we're going to run it no matter what. For better or for worse, we trust what we practice and what the work we put on before game day or put in before game day is going to work on the field on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever it is. Due to that, I think Jared Goff throwing 55 passes was because the secondary was just obliterated before the game. They weren't expecting to lose Vita Vea, or to have the Bucs lose Vita Vea early in the game, and we just didn't adjust. And that's just who we are. I saw a lot of people being like, why aren't we running it? And it's like, because that's just not how we schemed up this game. We're just not going to just throw everything we practiced all week away. We are the team that is like more in tune with the details than any other team. I think teams like the Chiefs are able to kind of just throw away a game plan and be like, yeah, we're just going to do this because we have good enough. For us, it's like we have good enough players, but we're just going to do what we practiced all week. Goff, 55 throws, wasn't looking great. I think this is a big get-right game for them. Arizona does not have that good of a secondary, that good of a defense at all. They held Matthew Stafford and I don't know who. Demarcus Robinson. I don't even know who the receiver is on that. Tyler Johnson. Wasn't he like an old Jet? I don't even like. Well, I don't know. I think that might be Ty Johnson. Actually, that's a running
Jordan Whittington, the
Whittington, dude. None of these guys. These are all high school players, dude. They found some fucking janitors at the local high school and made them play football. So I'm not worried about Arizona's defense at all. And for Jared Goff to have a get-right game, it's got to start with Montgomery and Gibbs. Last question before we get to our predictions, guys. Is this a trap game or no?
I don't think so.
Because most trap games are you're winning a bunch, you're expected to beat this shitty team.
Yeah.
And they come and whoop. This game is kind of 50-50, but we're still expected to win. So I'm curious. Like on the road, we know how our team is on the road sometimes. We know how Goff plays on the road. Is this a game? Is this a trap game?
Lions are 3-point favorite right now. If we would have beat the Bucs, I would have probably said yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I think this is more of a like tuned up bounce back type game where the Lions kind of get their swagger back and, look like how they should be looking. And the Cardinals, it's hard to say because week one, they looked terrible. They choked away a 17-3 lead against the Bills, and the Bills did not have a single wide receiver to throw. They're throwing to Keon Coleman and, not even Dalton Kincaid. It was just Josh Allen's show. So if we could just have one, like Montgomery take over, Gibbs take over, Laporta, Amon-Ra, Jama, one of these superstars just take over, I think we'll be able to match whatever they do on offense. And then anyone else is just like anyone else who just steps up will contribute more than it'll look better than normal than what they would have done. Right. So trap game, I don't think so. The spread I feel like is a little bit too tight. If the Lions were like a 6-point favorite going into this game, like if Arizona lost to the Rams, would feel a little more nervous, but I definitely think actually Gannon's a decent head coach. He did pretty good last year, but I think we still got the head coaching advantage. I think we got the running back advantage, the defense, pretty much all around, honestly, except for quarterback. I feel like quarterback could be tossed up. Kyler obviously is looking a lot better, but we know who Goff is. So I think the Lions is more of a bounce back, get right game than it is a trap game.
Gotcha. Julius?
Yeah, I'm going to compare it to last season when we won our first game and then we lost in overtime 37-31 to the Seattle Seahawks. And we went to week 3 going against the Atlanta Falcons, who at that point, I think they were 2-0, and they were pretty exciting. Their defense was looking good against some bum teams early in the year. Desmond Ritter, Bijan Robinson, they were pretty excited. And we just shut them down. We had a great game plan defensively. I think we won 20-6. Game managed perfectly by Ben Johnson and Jared Goff, what we want to see bounce back. So I'm going to compare it to that. And I think we could do the same thing on the road against Arizona that we did against Atlanta last year, which spurred, I believe, a 6-game win streak. Because after that, we ran through Denver. We ran through Green Bay.
Tampa.
Tampa. We beat Tampa. We went on a nice little 4 or 5 game winning streak there in that second part. So that's what I feel like the Lions are looking at, and I think that knowing Dan Campbell and knowing this team, that's what they're looking at. That's where the way they're looking at this game, bounce back.
Hell yeah. I agree. Not a trap game. We only have like 10 minutes before the Tigers kick off. So let's, without further ado, get to my favorite segment of the show lately. This has been great. I've been having a lot of fun. This is our prediction time. Doom doo doo doom doo doom doo doom doom doo doo. I was stalling so I could get that. Here we go. Last week, Nick Wally-lopped everybody. We all had the Lions winning. That didn't happen. I had the closest score. I had 30-20. I had offensive MVP. I had Amon-Ra St. Brown. I had defensive MVP. I had Hutch. You all had bums. So I take the lead. I have 4 points total. Julius has 3 points total. And Adam has 2 points total, which means Adam will be leading us off. First and foremost, who wins? What's the score? Who's offensive MVP and who's defensive MVP, Adam?
I obviously got to go back with my boys. I think the Lions kind of just grit this one out. Like what you said about that Falcons game, Julius, I think we're going to see something similar where, the Cardinals, actually, ironically, another bird game too, red bird too. So maybe, I don't know, stars align, who knows? But I think it's going to be kind of a lower-ish scoring. I'm going to go 13 for the Cardinals to 13-20. I don't know why. I think I've said 20 points the last 3 weeks for one team or the other. But 13-20, Lions get the victory. It's just the nitty-gritty bounce-back win. We look good. Hutch has another, couple sacks, and Lions, come back into form. Offensive MVP.
It's kind of tough being first.
It is tough. I want to go because going second and third, you're you have 2 great options, then someone eliminates for you. All right, sweet. Don't have to make that decision. Now I'm in between Goff, Montgomery. Both of those guys are, Monty, of course, was the week 1 MVP. Goff looking for a bounce back. But I really think we see a Jahmyr Gibbs true breakout game, baby. We see this number 6 overall pick look like a superstar. We saw what Saquon's been doing, nice drop passes. And that's kind of who I compare him to, a young Saquon, where this guy was just drafted so early, electric. Believe it or not, Jahmyr Gibbs is like a power back sometimes. He's not afraid to just lower his shoulder, run a dude over. He almost had the game, I'm not going to say game winning, but the go-ahead touchdown with that sick little 4th and 1 not trick play, but fake to Montgomery, turnaround. Goff just gives it to Gibbs, and he just hits the hole. And, oh, man, he was so close to breaking that. Just barely got touched out of bounds.
Frank Ragnow needed to look right, dude. Frank Ragnow needed to look right.
So, yeah.
Won the game, too.
What if?
So I'm going to go Gibbs. I think he's starting to – he's had 2 good games. I think he's due for just a explosion game. It's got to come at some point. I think I'm just going to hammer Gibbs until he wins our offensive MVP of the week. But defense, oh man, it's hard to go against Hutch, especially with that defensive line news.
Definitely.
I want to say Hutch, but I don't. And then if I don't, one of you two is going to say Hutch, and then Hutch is going to win it, and I'm going to be pissed. So, all right, I'm going to go Hutch because I'll be more disappointed not picking him and seeing him be the defensive MVP than picking him and having, like Brian Branch or Terrion or, Anzalone or someone else like that go off. So, Hutch and Jahmyr Gibbs, my two, ironically, Lions jerseys I own.
I love that. Julius, you are next. You cannot pick Gibbs or Hutch. Who's going to win the game? What's the score? Who's offensive and defensive MVP?
So I also think this will be a low-scoring affair, especially on Arizona end. Kind of stole my score there, Adam, that I was thinking when I first started. But I'm going to go Lions 26, Arizona 10. And my offensive MVP of the game, you also stole my offensive MVP, Adam, and you stole my defensive MVP too. You stole my whole segment, but it's okay.
That's why we play the game, baby. That's why we play the game.
My offensive MVP, I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I believe he was starting to come on last game, and he's going to continue that this game. He's going to be Goff's game manager safety blanket that we all have known to come and love, and the reason we gave him $120 million or whatever it was. My defensive MVP, I'm going to go off kilter a little bit. Since you went Hutch on one side, I'm going to go Marcus Davenport on the other side. I also thought he was starting to come on in that first game against Los Angeles Rams, and he's going to, even though he had to pause that for one game against the Bucs, he's going to bring it back this game. So, I believe with Reader back and the whole line, they're going to give that Arizona offensive line hell the whole game. And I think Marcus Davenport is the one that's going to come out the most effective on that one side. So I'm going to go Marcus Davenport and
ASB.
Now, Nick, right. I got a prediction who I think your offensive MVP is. I will show up my piece of paper when you announce it. See if I'm correct.
All right. I'm going to say the Lions win this game. 24 to 20, 24 to 21 is what I'm going to do. 24-21. I'm going to say my defensive MVP is Terrion Arnold.
Nice.
Yeah, I think he steps up against Marvin, has his breakout game with a pick and 2 PBUs, and apparently that's good enough to get you defensive MVPs. So hopefully that's what happens, or defense of the week or whatever. Offense player, I'm gonna go tried and true, J-Mo.
Oh, you went
Sam. Oh, you don't even know how much I wanted to go Sam. But so I was gonna go Laporte, and I didn't want to take ASB for back-to-back weeks. I think they're gonna go back. And when he was going to take J-Mo, I was going to be like, no, it's a Laporta breakout, dude. But he didn't go J-Mo. Sam was my number 2. I'm going J-Mo, dude. Goff loves him. Goff targets him.
Way harder than he used to be.
Very, very much.
Yeah, it's fun. It's more fun that way.
Exactly. So many players. MJR. So I got J-Mo. I got Terrion Arnold, 24-21 Lions win. Julius has St. Brown, Davenport, and a 26-10 Lions win. Adam has Gibbs and Hutch and a 20-13 Lions win. Nobody took Goff for MVP. That was it. Adam, take us out. Let's go Tigers!
Yeah, baby. Let's go Tigers. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, wherever. Honolulu _. If you guys are watching, subscribe, comment. We appreciate it all. Check out Nick's sweet. Nick, let me show it off for the fans.
I don't know if I can. I don't know. Hold on. I'm going to show my ass.
Nick's like, I'm naked right now. 1 second.
I know. Can you see that?
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, he's taking the selfie with the World Series trophy. That is such a sick. Oh, my gosh.
Bro, if they go all the way, you got to frame that jersey.
I know. I'll never wear it. I know. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Nick, now you gotta find like Ryan Reynolds and get him to sign that, and then.
Oh, I know, dude. Wouldn't that be sweet?
Oh man,
you're right. Actually, I should.
Nick always has the freshest, most exotic Lions. I swear, his grandma is on like the Detroit Lions dark web of gifts or something. I don't know where she gets this stuff, but every single time all of it's so cool. So another reason why you gotta, look at all this stuff. Why you gotta stay watching, because you'll never know what you might see Nick pulls out, and you might want to go try to find it yourself. But as always, Go.
Go.